Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Sofiane Khati of France, the French middleweight champion, stops the former British middleweight champion Nathan Heaney in the seventh round. And this was meant to be a good 10-rounder for Heaney to keep his hand in the mix. He's had that sort of round robin where he defeated Denzel Bentley, and then he had a draw with Brad Pauls, and Brad Pauls then stopped him in the 12th and final round, and then he lost to Denzel Bentley's. But unfortunately, Nathan seems like he's out of the picture now, because the 32-year-old Frenchman, he came in with 17 wins, 6 KOs, only 6 KOs, 4 defeats, and he'd been stopped twice. But he did have a win over Gary O'Sullivan about 10 months ago, over in Castlebar in Ireland on the undercard of the Dillian White Christian Hammer fight, that strange sort of event that took place. Since then, he tried to sort of gate crash the IBF middleweight rankings with one of those, international belts, but he lost a majority decision to Souleymane Mohammadi. So he dropped back down to domestic level, won the French title, and now he's beaten Nathan Heaney. And make no mistake about it, this guy can fight. 6 foot tall. The commentators were saying they thought he could maybe make 154. It's possible. I don't know. But Heaney he looked like he had the longer limbs. I don't know whether he's the bigger man, but because that can sometimes be deceptive. But for 3 rounds, it looked like Heaney was in control. But Heaney has a bad habit, which we saw against Brad Pauls, of when he is hit, he loses his shape, and it takes him out of his game plan. He sort of, I wouldn't say he comes apart, but he seems to sort of not really know what to do if he's clipped and hurt a little bit. Now, Nathan Heaney, we know all about him. Like I say, he was a British champion. He's 35 now, so this is going to be a difficult one to come back from. But he has this upright style, does the basics well, jabs very well, nice right hand. He's an orthodox fighter. Sofiane Khati looked a little bit shorter. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, Nathan's 6 foot, 6'1", something like that. Khati looked like he might be 5'11", perhaps, And Heaney, for the first 3 rounds, was controlling the fight. This was a 10-rounder. And you got the feeling, I was looking at Khati and I was thinking, why aren't you getting stuck in more? Because, why aren't you doing more? It's like the guy, Mikhail Diallo, who fought Zach Parker on the same card. He could have won that fight, but he just didn't let it hang out. He didn't go after the fight. And suddenly in the 4th round, Khati seemed to sort of wake up, which was about bloody time, to be honest with you. And he landed one, I think it was, because he's an orthodox fighter as well, he landed might have been a left hook, or he timed Heaney, who left his right hand hanging out, and overcomes a left hook. And it sort of snapped Heaney to the side. And immediately, like I say, when he's hit, he begins to look really uncomfortable, Heaney. It's not like he stays composed. And I just thought, well, that's a warning sign. That really is a warning sign. And from there, Khati kind of picked it up a bit. Heaney was bleeding from the nose and the mouth, I think, quite profusely from about the 4th or 5th round. But then he had a cut eye in 5th or 6th, maybe. And then in the 7th, they exchanged huge left hooks, and both landed. And Khati was, momentarily shaken. But Heaney, I think he lost his mouthpiece, and he was badly shaken. His legs stiffened. He sort of tottered back to the ropes. Khati realised, jumped all over him. Khati's corner were very, very vocal, cheering their man on. Lots of, voila, attention. And Khati was letting his hands go, smacking Heaney around. Heaney slid across the ropes and fell to his left, and he was over. So Khati had scored a knockdown. There was no getting away from the fact that he was, it wasn't he hadn't come to just take his paycheck and go home. He'd come to win the fight. But because Heaney's mouthpiece had come out, the ref made Khati staying in the neutral corner. Obviously, Khati's corner were going crazy. You should have stopped the fight, and whatever the French equivalent of that is. I don't speak fluent French. The referee, Bob Williams, replaced the mouthpiece. Heaney went back into the fray, but Khati would not be denied. Got him on the ropes, was smashing in straight punches, nearly all to the head, and there was nothing coming back, and Bob Williams jumped in and stopped the fight, and you couldn't complain about the stoppage. You couldn't complain about it at all. It was a good win, very, very good win for Sofiane Khati, 7 rounds. And even though he took his time to get going and almost looked like he lacked a bit of motivation or self-belief to start with, I think when he realised that Heaney could be hit and could be hurt, suddenly his confidence shot through the roof and off he went. My goodness, off he went and basically beat Heaney up. Now, Heaney, of course, like I said, 35 years old. He's got 18 wins with only 6 KOs, 2 defeats. The 2 defeats are stoppages in his last 2 fights against Khati and then previously Brad Pauls. That was back in July of 2024. Where does he go from here? Well, I don't know. It's difficult to say. I mean, his introductions are so fantastic because he comes out to Tom Jones's Delilah. I'm going to miss those if he does decide to pack it in. Yeah, fantastic. Really rousing, gets the crowd going. He comes into the ring, egging them on. And unfortunately, he doesn't seem to have that sort of energy or that sort of spirit left for the actual boxing part. And it's not that he's not a bad fighter. He does have skills. I think he's probably overachieved in becoming the British champ. And on another day, he might beat Khati. He might beat him. We don't know. But Khati he's travelling well. And he had about 5 fights last year. He's a really busy fighter. A win, lose or draw. I mean, he's got 5 defeats and he's been stopped twice. But he's almost like he doesn't care. He's 32 himself, so he's not exactly a spring chicken. But, yeah. Good little fighter, Khati. He'll upset a few more apple carts. Don't worry about that. For Heaney, is it the end? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, what did you think of the fight? Do you think Heaney should pack it in? Or if not, where would you take him? What about Khati? What do you think about him? I like the look of him. I thought he was good. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Comments below, as always. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and please hit the like button if you don't mind, and spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Much appreciated. I'll catch you later, and bye for now.